Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night, time for another live Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin, and as always, I'm joined by, well actually, not as always, a lot of the times we're joined by Angel from That Strange Show.
What up?
You're very creepy tonight.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
my Amazon, whatever, robot light is fucked, so.
Oh, your robot light?
Yeah, my robot light.
Your Robert light. And Tony has 9 fingers.
What is going on, people?
And Tony, would you like to introduce our very special guests?
Sure. 2 members behind, movies that aren't out yet, but there are Indiegogos for them. So if you couldn't tell by the title, the 2 movies are Party of Darkness and Blue Murder. We have, I don't know who you're going to first.
You say the name, and I'll do it.
I'll go the way it says on top. So Randy Van Dyke.
What's up,
Hey,
Randy?
everybody. Thanks for having me. I feel like I'm way too well lit over here. I needed a little dark cave of my own.
Angel's a little better lit now, but yeah. And what's the other guest, Tony?
Justin, hopefully I say it right, Armao?
Armao.
Okay, well, I got it on the second time. Usually I'm horrible. It probably would have taken me like 10 times, so I'm getting a little bit better.
Yeah,
that works for me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, definitely. It's our pleasure. I've heard of some of your movies in the past. I don't know why. Like the first Bloodsucker Jones movie, I can't is it streaming anywhere? I can't find it streaming anywhere, but the second one is streaming.
Yeah, the second one's streaming on Tubi and Amazon and a bunch of other smaller places. And the first one was streaming, but Amazon took it off, and we're trying to submit it to Tubi, but we have to fix some things because it was shot in like lower than low definition, so it didn't pass a lot of QC things. And you have to have a second of black after the title, all these things. So we decided to pull it back and maybe re-edit and like fix it up a little bit. But it's on Blu-ray, but it's not streaming. We want to make it a little nicer before we stream it again.
Fancy it up.
Yeah.
With a 4K remaster.
Going full special edition mode on that one.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Like 9 hours of special features, like Lord of the Rings stuff. Let's see, we already have a couple comments in here. We have Life is Pain.
What up?
You came back from a carjacking. He's Life is Pain is pointing out that I look like I came back from a carjacking. I am just freezing. I'm very cold. I'm still living in my in-laws' attic because of my house situation. And it's according to my watch, it's like low 40s out right now, and it's not on.
It was 35 degrees when I left my house this morning. That's why I'm full Paul Bunyan right now.
Yeah. But yeah, he's also saying welcome to our guests. Life is Pain is over in the UK, and they have Tubi now, so they can check out the second. Yeah, he can check out the second Bloodsucker Jones movie.
Bloodsucker Jones versus the Creeping Death and Xanadu Hellfire, and Randy is Like Dogs on Tubi.
Yeah, Like Dogs is on Tubi. That is my horror film that we just recently did. Actually, it's more of a psychological thriller. If you go into it expecting blood, you're going to be disappointed. But it's a fun mind fuck.
I like those.
Yeah,
same. I do too. And Xanadu is more of like a fantasy movie, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like The Goonies, meets Clerks, maybe. If you like 9-year-old girls cussing and playing in the post-apocalypse. Yeah, it's definitely like sci-fi comedy adventure. Yeah,
Seems like it kind of has that like what was that one? Psycho Gorman.
Oh, definitely. Like, yeah, Steven's awesome. And I love Psycho Gorman, and
Hunky Boys.
Definitely, yeah. Turbo Kid, Psycho, all that
Turbo
stuff.
Kid's an awesome film.
I love it.
Sergio's in the chat just saying, "What's up? What's up, Serge?" So let's talk about the two projects. You have Party of Darkness, which is like an anthology film, and Blue Murder.
Party of Darkness is a little different than a lot of anthologies that you see out there because we went full horror comedy with it. Some of them we went definitely on the sillier side, and then some of them are just straight blood. One we have a really cool one. It's a sci-fi kind of horror one, but we have monster movies. We have a little bit of everything represented in it, and it's because Justin and I have been working together for over 10 years now on various different projects, and we've met a bunch of really cool filmmakers. And we kind of wanted an opportunity to bring in a bunch of these filmmakers that we've met over the years to each write and direct their own segments. So that was kind of how the anthology was born.
Nice. And we have Max, I think it's Maxwell Stewart James. I don't know if that's brother Max saying, "Hey everyone, what's up, Max?" And so one thing I noticed on the cast list is there's some familiar names. We've had Sean Whalen on the show a bunch of times. So it's always good to see him. And then Robert Mukes is in one of them, and I'm always happy to see Robert Mukes' name in things.
Yes, so they play brothers actually in the same segment, and it is amazing. It is, I think, probably the creepiest segment of the entire anthology.
Really?
Yeah, it's got this gritty kind of 90s vibe to it. It's a lot of fun, and I think having names in it is definitely going to maybe put the movie on people's radar. But even if you didn't recognize their face or the names, the performances that they did were just outstanding. It was so much fun to work with people that were so professional in their craft, and so on top of just like needed very minimal direction to really get excellent performances out of them.
Yeah. Sean's obviously the man. It's funny because like Robert, like he was doing very small bit things, even though he's such a gigantic person. He was doing like really small bit things, and I remember being at a con in New York, and like him and Tony Todd after the con that day were like running lines because he had an audition like on Monday, and he was just like, he was nervous about it. Robert was nervous about it, so him and Tony Todd were just going over lines. I'm like, this is pretty awesome. Just to witness this is amazing, and I'm like, they get nervous like real people do, you know?
Being in the room with them was surreal. Just like seriously seeing those two sitting across from me, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Completely different. You would not expect them to be brothers, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, they play it so well. They're fantastic.
Yeah. Robert's a great guy, and like I said, his name's come up a couple times recently, so I'm psyched to see his name out there a little bit more. Without spoiling too much, is there any specific so I know that there's a lot of different directors, but I noticed there's like I don't know if it's you, Randy, that your name is listed under editing. Like, did you edit a ton of these?
So I edited 3 segments. I also wrote and directed 3 segments. So when you see the blurbs talking about the movie, 8 segments, 8 different directors, 2 of the segments had directing duos. So I kind of did additional segments in it, and those are the ones that I edited. But believe it or not, the writer-directors themselves were in charge of editing all the different segments. And we tried to make it the way that we have the anthology framed within like the wraparound storyline. The main storyline is, it's a bunch of middle-aged guys going out, renting a cabin in the middle of nowhere, getting away from wives, kids, responsibilities, all that kind of thing, to have a scary movie night. But there's a storm, knocks out their internet connection, and the rented cabin doesn't have any physical media. So while they're waiting for their buddy to come with a bunch of DVDs, they sit around, start telling stories. Well, if I was going to make a horror movie, this is what it would be. So it's everybody's different kind of ideal horror movie. So each one was shot with different crews, different camera gear, different lenses, different kind of sensibilities, so that they all look a little visually different from each other, even though it's pretty much a lot of the same crew that was involved in bringing the whole thing together.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I always loved, especially nowadays, with the VHS movies and it's a couple of the ones on Shudder, like Scare Package and stuff. I've always said it where, with anthology films, it gives you that opportunity to be like, okay, maybe one of the shorts wasn't really for me, but there could be like 2 or 3 that you really do like. Without, like, with other movies, it's just like, if you don't like the movie, you don't like the movie, and it's like an hour and a half of something you don't like. With anthology films, you have that chance of being like, okay, maybe I didn't like this one as much, or this one was a little bit weaker, but at least I like these couples. So with anthology films, I think in the 2000s you didn't have too much, and then I think with indie film especially, I think there's a lot more coming out and shining. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the neat thing about what we were able to do with this as well is Justin here wrote and directed a segment called Pizza Bites, and it's kind of a little bit of a schizophrenic segment because it tells several different stories as it goes. But that segment was the seed that grew into become Blue Murder. So Blue Murder is a straight up spin-off from Party of Darkness. So I don't want to steal Justin's thunder. So Justin, talk a little bit more about
Pizza Bites.
Yeah, tell us. Yeah, what's the deal with Pizza Bites?
Well, it's part monster short, and it's part beautiful killer nurse slasher, basically. And then we were filming the nurse slasher, and we were doing a slow motion shot. And she's coming down the stairs in slow motion, and everyone just said, "We need to make this movie." I think it was such a cool, iconic shot, and we thought we have to have this girl kill people for 90 minutes at some point. So normally we wouldn't make a movie so fast after another movie, but we had some leftover insurance from Randy. Thank you, Randy. So we were able to get like a big hospital set and stuff like that without having to spend the money on insurance. So it was kind of a stroke of luck, and it kind of helped us get the movie in gear, and now we're halfway through filming it.
Nice. That's cool. So both you're doing an Indiegogo for both of them right now?
The Indiegogo for Party of Darkness is over, but we're full force on Blue Murder right now.
Yeah, and that just recently started, and if I remember correctly, and I was looking at the perks, and the perks are pretty great.
Thank you.
Including there's so many of them that comes with you'll get your own nickname from Bloodsucker Jones. Like he'll make up a nickname for you, and it'll be like in the credits or whatever.
You're stuck with that nickname,
for the rest of your life.
You might be Toaster Face, you might be Eagle Claw or something, but people seem to like that. We did it in our last movie, Xanadu, and that was one of the most popular things. Yeah, any perk you get, you'll get a free nickname. And we have a Mad Lib, like a Mad Lib one too, where Bloodsucker Jones, in the credits, it'll say, Bloodsucker Jones would like to thank, and insert your name for that time he saved my life in insert location. So,
yeah.
You can buy that as a credit, So just trying to get creative. Yeah.
Not like super expensive. Like I think it's very easily approachable by fans that may not know a ton about your movie past, stuff like that. So Sergio is asking if we have a trailer. I do have the trailer for the Indiegogo for Blue Murder.
I'm looking at the pictures here. See the Warriors action going on here.
Yes, we definitely have a nod to the Warriors.
Is there any other nods?
Oh God.
Is it all nods?
So many nods.
Clerks, I don't know, Star Wars probably. Friday the 13th, Halloween. I forget them at this point.
There's so many. You're going to rediscover them as you watch the movie.
Yeah, there's a movie in there's a movie in there among the nods somewhere.
Yeah,
hopefully people will find it now.
That's fun though. Like,
yeah.
So over just yesterday, I went to see Terrifier 3, and I know Angel went over the weekend, and there's some nods in there too, and I was just like, that's cool. I wonder if anyone else caught that, because there's just some people that don't look for kind of that stuff.
They're kind of harmless nods. They don't hurt the movie. They don't slow it down. It's just like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, and it's nods you guys would get. All the most people we know and who like our stuff would probably get it.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. I mean, some of the best comedies are the ones that have those. Like, look at Mel Brooks. A lot of his stuff have those. Like, not one of my favorites is Robin Hood Men in Tights. Yeah. And like when you turn, it's like a Godfather nod in this, and it's like, oh, okay, it's always fun to see movies giving homage to what came before. So
yeah, big fan of Mel Brooks. Spaceballs is one of my favorite movies.
Oh my God, yes.
And I'm gonna say that as an 11-year-old kid, after I saw that movie, the very first thing I wanted to do was make Spaceballs 2. So that was my very first movie I ever made as an 11-year-old child.
You made Spaceballs 2
in my backyard, with my friends and my parents.
Do you have that still?
It's on a dusty VHS. Somewhere in my garage. I'll have to see if it still plays.
Bro, we got a lot of technology nowadays. We can digitize that real quick.
You should digitize that, and you should throw it as an Easter egg somewhere that you have to figure out how to get to it.
Oh yeah, I got to bury that thing deep because it is awful. It's terrible.
But you're the artist. You're the artist. Most artists think their stuff.
Like, what do you want? I was fucking 11.
Exactly. Yeah. But I was still playing with pyrotechnics because I had a little Winnebago Matchbox car that I put wings on, and then I ground up a model rocket engine and stuck it inside with a little igniter leading to a 9-volt battery, and I blew that sucker up. At 11 years old, I was already a pyro burning.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But, that's probably the highlight of the whole movie.
You have some explaining to do. Police may need to speak with you, but yeah, I love that movie. I saw that in the theater as well. I think
you were 30 though, right?
Shut your mouth. I don't know which one was born in 77.
I was born in 77.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm like 2 years older than you. So I may have gone by myself even. Because in my area, I grew up in the worst part of the city that I lived in when I was a kid, and they would make free movies during the summer and everything.
Nice.
So to keep kids off the street.
Get in here, get your popcorn. Don't get killed.
Get in here, watch Desperately Seeking Susan again. Because you're a child. What's that?
I could definitely think of worse ways to spend a summer.
Oh, totally. It was great. But yeah, so what about you, Justin? How did you start? Because you act now, you're directing and stuff like that. But how did you get into this?
Same. I mean, I loved movies when I was a kid. I grew up in probably the perfect time. I was 7 when Star Wars came out. Smokey and the Bandit, all that stuff. I feel like I grew up in the perfect time. And I got to enjoy all those movies. And I used to cut out the newspaper ads for movies because they didn't really sell posters for it that I could see. And my entire wall was just newspaper ads of Streets of Fire and Alien or whatever, cover it, And then after high school, I got into extra work, and then I worked on 300 movies and TV shows. And I got just hooked on being on set and getting comfortable. And I thought, I could do this, and I was on some low budget stuff and some mega high budget stuff. And I thought I could probably figure this out one day. And then Clerks came out and I thought, yes, now I know I can do that. And then El Mariachi and Reservoir Dogs and all that, Slacker. And then in 1999, I made a movie, got halfway through, got custody of my 6-year-old daughter. And then, we never finished it, but during that time I wrote the Bloodsucker Jones script. I put it in a drawer, and when she turned 12, I took it out of the drawer, and then we made it. and it took 5 years to make. And then we finally, so we're slowly getting quicker. 5 years to like 2 years to 18 months to like 1 year now, and Randy's he was way ahead of me. He put out like an indie movie, a very like kind of like Clerks and Waiting, called Any Night But Tonight, Pink Lemonade.
Pink Lemonade is what the distributor changed the name to. But yeah, it was kind of our take on a Kevin Smith movie, and that was back in 2006. And it got distributed around the world. It was on Netflix before Netflix was streaming, and they were sending out discs to people's homes. You could get those that way. We were in the $5 bargain bin at Walmart, that kind of thing. But it definitely didn't jumpstart anybody's career. But it did kind of jumpstart my love for making indie films. So and that's kind of like my comedy background. And then we did another one a few years after that. That was a kind of a love letter to geek culture. It was called Nonstop to Comic-Con. We did a lot of festivals with that. It did really well. And unfortunately, there's some legalities tying it up, preventing it from getting distributed. So then I turned to horror. After feeling betrayed by the filmmaking experience, I turned to the darker side of filmmaking and decided, wow, this is amazing. And then, like, why not combine the two? And which is
totally
what Justin's a master of, is the horror comedy. So it's like, it's such a wonderful space to play in.
Yeah, totally. And it's but I agree that time frame you guys were referencing, like around the time where El Mariachi and Reservoir Dogs, and then even Desperado. I knew Desperado before I knew El Mariachi, unfortunately, but that time it doesn't compare to any other time in film for me. There was so many movies. I'm like, that's my favorite movie. That's my favorite movie. That's my favorite movie. Like every other week, I'm like, that's my new favorite movie.
Yeah.
It's like
bangers,
so many
banger after banger,
so many amazing movies. And I still watch them now, and it just makes me feel like my dad, when my dad's like, the movies back when I was a kid, but his movies were great too. Like, he grew up, he's still around. He's 85, and Universal Classic Monsters, he would go to the matinees as a kid and watch all that stuff. And I'm like, I am so jealous. That would have been sick. And that he would go, like, I forget that guy's name. He would travel the country, like installing like shockers into the seats. He would
William Castle.
Yes.
William
He
Castle,
would go to, I think that's his name. It sounds right. But yeah, he'd seen some William Castle movies and stuff too, with like the ghost that would go down the center of the theater and everything. And yeah, I'm like, that's pretty
Love
sick.
that.
It would have been great to experience that.
The 90s is totally underrated as far as movies go. I think people forget about it, but it's awesome.
But they do and they don't. Like younger kids don't realize it because they just remake those movies over and over again as it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think
younger kids are fucked. I think because they're getting the remake of the good movie, and every once in a while there's a good remake, but
not that often. But
not often enough. Yeah, not often
but
enough.
That's the good thing with horror right now, and we talk about it pretty much every week, is that independent horror is where it's at right now. Like,
they just remade Speak No Evil, and I thought, so we've seen it before, right? Where like movies share the same name from movies from a while back or around the same time of release, and I was like, oh, there's another movie called Speak No Evil. This one's also Speak No Evil with what's his name, McAvoy?
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, they remade the same goddamn movie beat for beat, like.
And that was a recent. That's a recent movie,
it was
right?
one was 2022, and it was like a foreign film, and then this one it's still kind of. I haven't seen either of them, but just from the trailers, I'm like, they still kept the foreign aspect of it, but they put like American twist on it.
Yeah.
Well, that was a guy who did Last Shift and then redid his own movie and called it Malum.
Yeah. But I think I heard that he like like exponentially made the film better with his own.
I don't know. I think I like the original Last Shift more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you're going into it like because there's been short films that I've absolutely loved, and then they get the green light to go make like the feature, and I didn't like the feature, and I'm like, crap, like
sucks.
yeah, it does suck.
That's because
I would talk up the short so much, and I'm like, the short's so sick, and then people go check it out, and like, oh yeah, that's great. And then, hey, a Shudder exclusive, this came out, and I'm like, crap,
It's because sometimes it's like the short is like, sometimes it's just that perfectness where it's like, okay, I got what I needed in that like 15 minutes and I don't need anything else. But then it's always like, okay, I need a little bit more. But then, I mean, sometimes the story, you get enough story in that 15 minutes that it's like, I need a little bit more. But then it's like you drag it out too much or something. So if you see like an amazing short film, it's just like, sometimes you have to have
stay a short film. Yeah. Sometimes. Wolfie's actually in the chat, and he says, he says, A Silent House was the same way. It was a Spanish film, and no more than 6 months later, Elizabeth Olsen version came out. Olsen.
Oh, wow.
Elizabeth Olsen. Suffering.
Yeah, that's what they do. They did that. Well, I don't know how it feels like 6 months, but all the Ringus, all the Juons. The Grudge.
That's right. Yeah.
And then back in the day when I learned what the originals were, and I would track them down, the originals are so much better.
Way creepier.
And even still with Shudder, if you go towards the horror, like the foreign horror, it'll grab you the most.
Coming up, because I know not to get too much off, but there's like a stark difference in like approach, I think, to how they deal with like certain topics where they're just like balls to the wall, don't give a fuck.
Yeah, totally.
I think there's still kind of almost a puritanism about the way we approach, like American cinema approaches horror, where there's still some taboos that people are afraid to cross or to tread on. Where with the more international horror films, they don't give a fuck. They'll do it. And I kind of appreciate that spirit.
Oh, totally. There's movies that are on Shudder that are amazing, and then there's rumor that they're going to make an American version. I'm like, don't.
Yeah.
Because all the good stuff will not fly in American cinema.
Yeah, I'll read the subtitles. I'll take it with subtitles.
Yeah. Any day. And actually, Sergio is kind of keeping me on track because he's asking me if he missed the trailer.
It was the trailer.
He didn't. But I'm gonna play it right now.
But Andy, before we go to that, Andy just said what up to you guys.
Yep.
Hey,
Andy.
I saw Lewis was said hi to us earlier too. What's up, buddy?
Lewis is there.
Lewis is an executive producer on both Party of Darkness and Blue Murder, and Andy is a director of one of the segments of Party of Darkness. His directorial debut. He's worked with us on tons of stuff dating back to the first Bloodsucker Jones movie, and
Cool. So I have to do this a different way because the program I use to grab the YouTube videos is not currently working. So let me do it this way. Share screen. Yep.
So you close that other window.
I'm doing this, and I'm going to play it. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
I'm going to make it a big boy.
Make it bigger.
Is it let me see. Does it still have us on the side there? It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we're going to have to do it that way. I'm sorry.
We're stacked up.
Yep. Dude, we're stacked. All right. Here is the Indiegogo trailer.
Halloween. Best day of the year. Slept in my costume. Makeup is done. Looking hot as hell. All my friends are hot as hell too, but not quite as hot as me. Which is awesome. Oh, I love my life.
Bummer.
Howdy, little lady.
Dude, I'm the final girl. Final girl always lives. Right?
Always.
Which one of you dumb shits drew dicks all over my notepad?
That'd be what we call a team effort.
Wrong answer, numbnuts.
Ooh, me next. Me next.
I like how you pull on your own shirt there, man. Be next.
Yeah, that was very fun. Yeah, it looks like a really good time. So, who doesn't want to go and
the address?
Sorry, go ahead.
The address. So we did two consecutive Indiegogos. So that one still has the old address. So it's IGG / or IGG.me/@/Blue Murder Movie this time instead of just Blue Murder. But the link's in our bio and on our Instagram and stuff. But yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's how I got it. Tony sent me the Instagram link, and I just click, and I was like, it brought me right there. But yeah, again, lots of cool perks. Not very expensive perks, and you can get a nickname from Bloodsucker Jones. Who doesn't want that?
And have a story behind it. Everybody, you can't give yourself a nickname, so some people never have one. So it's like, okay, let me just get one from Bloodsucker Jones, and I'll have it. Where'd you get that nickname? Oh, well, I got it from a movie from this guy. So that's.
What if you put your name in as Tony Has 9 Fingers? What is he going to do then? He's going to add another nickname on top of that?
Maybe.
Put it in and find out.
Only way to find out, Tony.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, if you get multiple perks, you get multiple nicknames.
Very true.
Keep buying the nickname perk over and over and over
then
again.
Put it in under your real name. Then put it in under your mother's name. Give her a gift for Christmas.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think there's some producer perks where you get a nickname and then you can like give a nickname to 5 of your friends.
Yes, I did see that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I like the nickname thing. I might just for the nickname's sake. Because why not? I hate my name. So
yeah,
my last name is Crook, like a thief, CROOK. So I'm sure he could probably do something fun with that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Now you said it started with a short. Is it the same people in the short that is now in the full length? I'm sure it's more, but
yeah. One of the other benefits of it was we just thought, and we'll just use this footage we shot for Party of Darkness, and we'll just incorporate it into the movie. So then we're one day ahead of shooting, and it's already been paid for by Randy. Thank you, Randy. and so it was already done. We only changed a couple pieces of dialogue, and then we shot a couple extra moments to fit into the feature.
Yeah. Justin had the foresight when we were shooting his short that he knew he was going to expand it into a feature at that point. So we shot a little bit extra than we knew we would need for the short that was going into Party of Darkness, so that he'd have it for Blue Murder. But yeah, it's not just the same extras or same actors. It is the absolute same footage, but it's expanded. It's like you get to see that from the anthology plus a little bit more. And you get the whole backstory and just an expanded version of the story. It's really kind of a fun way to do it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Was there any inspiration for the nurse from like Kill Bill, per se?
Oh, probably. I mean, I love Quentin Tarantino. Kill Bill's like probably in my top 4 movies of all time. I just remember my sister, because we had the same in Bloodsucker Jones 2, my character was in a hospital and my nurses were all dressed like that. And my sister recently said, so I guess you just really like sexy nurses, don't you? And I said, guilty. I guess I do really like sexy nurses.
Hello, nurse.
Yeah. But she's actually a nurse. The whole idea is that...
Wait, actually in real life?
No, the character.
Oh.
So she's working on Halloween, and her friend, the previous Halloween, said, you know what I'm going to do? Next year I'm going to dress on Halloween as a nurse, even though I'm a nurse, but it's going to be a sexy nurse. And her friends, and this girl stole the idea, and that's why she's dressed as a sexy nurse. It's
if you need a reason.
And hey, it's a reason, and I stand by it.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I wonder if the reason would work for me. I'm saying this Halloween, I'm looking for a costume.
Yeah, I mean, but it also there's a couple really cool tie-ins in Party of Darkness, and one of the best things about Party of Darkness is that the emphasis was on the wraparound is the juiciest part of the story. Usually in VHS and all that, the wraparound's not quite as important as all the. It's just a way to get to the shorts, but the wraparound here is like 45 minutes long.
Oh wow!
So it's a major part, and it connects into. It may or may not connect into the shorts, so it's definitely something new, and it's something really cool.
Yeah, some of the shorts kind of come to fruition in real life in the wraparound. You may see some characters from some of the shorts make an appearance in the wraparound. So yeah, the way we approach it is just really, really different. And like you said, it's kind of the juiciest storyline, is it's the biggest, and it's got a big, the whole thing leads to a big climactic ending where they're opening portals to hell, summoning demons, and fighting off succubuses and knobgoblins and all sorts of fun stuff.
Knobgoblins.
Did you say? Did you say knobgoblins?
I most certainly did. And take what you think.
I know. I think I know, but
and that's it in this movie.
So he said, take what we're thinking and multiply it by 10, and that's what we're getting.
Fucking all the knobs.
Yeah,
all of them.
It's very, very it's
med knobs.
Yeah. It's NC-17 without a doubt.
It has its moments.
Without a doubt.
Now you said
are you going to change your not too bad? Are you going to change your not too bad, Sergio?
Not too bad.
Because Sergio likes the ladies. So yeah, I'm just saying.
So you said you worked with the other directors as well, or you've seen their work and you were like, I want you guys on the project with us?
So they're all people that we've worked with collaboratively. When I'm not producing or writing, directing, I work in the camera department. I'm a DP. I also do visual effects work, that sort of thing. So everybody that has taken part in this, I have worked on projects of theirs. They've worked on projects of mine. But this one, we wanted to kind of open it up and have it be a genuine collaboration where everybody gets to really exercise their own creativity in it. And even though I produced it and funded the shorts, I didn't have like an iron fist in terms of what stories I wanted them to tell or how I wanted them to tell it. I'm like, I trust you guys. I enjoy your work. So make the movie that you want to make and just have fun with it. And I think it comes through in the finished movie.
Nice.
So did you have to wait for them to finish their part, and then the wraparound story came around, I guess?
So everybody, we kind of had the idea to do this without any solid idea of what our individual shorts were going to be or what the wraparound was going to be exactly. So we all kind of started writing it at the same time. But I finished the wraparound in like a weekend because I kind of fell in love with it and it was a lot of fun. And it got to, combine my love of comedy and really kind of over the top horror stuff. So I put it together in like a week's time, started sending it out to everybody. So then once they had a chance to see like, oh, the wraparound is this, then they could kind of help use that to craft their stories to kind of tie into it or not tie into it. If they wanted to kind of just tell a story that doesn't necessarily tie into the wraparounds, they could do that too. But yeah, that was how it all kind of started.
So it looks like Blue Murder has from the trailer, looks like it doesn't lack on the gore. So with each short, did everyone have their own like team as in like special effects work, or did the same team work on all the shorts together?
So that's a good question. We definitely we definitely had a consistent makeup team throughout helping with the gore. There were a couple shorts that I think we had a different makeup person doing the gore, but those are the shorts that I developed the kills. And I've never done it before, but I made the prosthetic body parts and I made the kill rigs and I made a lot of stuff. So I really wanted to kind of test it out, and I always wanted to kind of dabble in that arena. And one of them was for the opening segment of the movie that was one of the segments that I wrote and directed as well. It's called Bootytown Bloodbath. And yeah, do a double take. It's what it sounds like. So just to give you a little heads up on what that is, it's a guy that thinks he's won the opportunity to star with his favorite like OnlyFans type content creator. But it turns out he's actually being lured in the middle of nowhere for a live stream snuff film. But there's kind of a sexy element to it leading up to that. So the kills, I wanted it to be, it's in the first 5 minutes of the movie. You really got to grab the audience. Yeah. So I made it like over the top, like really edgy, over the top kind of fun. And it's probably the bloodiest kill that I've ever been a part of. And gosh, they're taken out of context. That could sound really terrible. The bloodiest movie kill that I've ever taken part of, and it was just so much fun to do.
I'm gonna put a quote up somewhere.
But yeah,
bloodiest kill I've ever been part of.
Yeah.
Just real quick, because Wolfie's asked about it a couple times. I don't want to ignore him. He's a car guy, so he mentioned the modern Challenger, and then he asked what kind of favors you had to. Did you need to do to get the Dodge?
That is a Justin question.
No, it's my car. So I just needed the douchiest car we had because it's the head of the frat guys. There's a bunch of frat guys after our nurse in the movie, and the leader drives I want him to drive a douchey car. So, but then I said, hey, I got a douchey car.
I don't think they're douchey.
Yeah, I like them. I don't think they're douchey. Yeah. But I figured it's something cool that he could drive.
Oh yeah. Obviously, Wolfie's excited about it.
It's only douchey if a douche is driving it. Yeah.
Now, Wolfie would probably get a kick out of the 1965 Mustang.
It doesn't play a huge part in the movie, but yeah.
In the Ding Dong Dead segment of the
rented.
I rented 1965 Mustang.
Yeah,
rented a classic Mustang and brought it to the desert. Yeah.
And it was pretty amazing, but it was also unfortunately July and it had no air conditioning and it was 109 degrees outside.
Oh, yeah.
And somehow we managed to not have the car overheat. But it was a period piece set in the 80s. We needed a classic car that a couple of teenage metalhead pranksters would be driving.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it worked out really well for that. And it's a lot of fun. That one's a period piece set in the 80s. And it's definitely got an 80s vibe to it.
Yeah,
that's cool. I can remember when my sister was getting her first car. Like there was all these you'd be like I'd be taking a bus to school or something. You would see like 60s Mustangs just in a lot for sale. Yeah. She had like a Dodge Dart, like an old Dodge Dart that was pretty sick. It would stall constantly. It was terrifying. every time it stalled, because you'd be like trying to turn the wheel, and it just couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cars are a whole lot less interesting now. Like you go to a car lot, even like with older cars, used cars, classic cars, whatever. I don't know. It's just not as interesting as that period where you could just turn around a corner and see something that's considered a classic by today's standards.
Yeah. Yeah, he's saying the 65 Stang. Yeah, that's a cool car. All right, Wolfie, start your own car podcast called Vroom Vroom with Wolfie McGillicuddy or something. I don't know. So with your goal on this Indiegogo campaign, do you have to raise the full goal to get where you need to be, or is it something that, all right, we're just going to be able to do some more cool stuff if we meet this goal? Like, are you guys in desperate need of this for final?
Yes, let's just say if whatever we don't raise, I have to put on a credit card that's already, up there. So yes, absolutely, because we want to. We're renting some really cool locations. It's tough because it's everything we're doing now. It takes place on Halloween, so to try to shoot at night on Halloween without permits, we kind of have to rent houses and sneak out of the houses or find friends' houses and figure out a way to do it. So yeah, it's getting expensive, and but we don't need our goal is modest on there, I think, and I've already paid for most of it anyway. So
yeah, we're more than halfway through shooting.
Plus the 1 day from Randy, which helps. Yeah, so we only have 6 days. 6 days to go. 5 or 6 days to go. But yeah, the more money, the more better. The more money we could pay people. That we've had some students working on it for free every day, and I'd love to pay them. And that's my biggest hope, is that we surprise them with some money, and because they're just amazing people. And
shout out to the students that have
and everybody else we're just underpaying or they're.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So shout out to Callie and Nick and Mick and the rest of the gang.
You said there's only 6 days left on your the Indiegogo?
6 shoot days.
I think so. I'd have to go back and. Oh no, 6 the shoot days.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah, there's probably like 30 days left on the Indiegogo.
All right,
until it doesn't make much money, and then I extend
I thought I was looking
until I
at the
extended
wrong
another 10 or something like that. But yeah, we'd like to.
Yeah, Boomer.
Are you guys looking to?
But we're gonna make if we can raise it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You first.
Oh, I said there should at different levels. We'll give people extra perks, like we'll make some enamel pins of characters, or give away some extra things for everybody, just for reaching, some modest goals on there too.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Rest assured, for everybody who has contributed, the movie's going to get completed one way or the other. We don't, other than 1999 first films, we don't leave anything incomplete. And that's not a dig towards you at all, Justin. I'm just saying, we always finish what we start in terms of the movies that we're making these days. And anybody that have already contributed, just know that your money is being put to good use, and it'll definitely get complete. But as Justin was saying, it's just, the level of which that we can, that we can complete it. How much easier our lives are going to be, if we can rent a location and not have to, beg, borrow, and steal to get somebody's house to shoot in, that kind of thing. So
yeah.
And that's the one thing too, especially with indie film here and that, where it's going to get completed. Because how many times have you seen movies like you're so excited for it, and it's either funding fell through or the movie was made and now it's in limbo somewhere, and it's just
a lot of. I've seen a lot lately is people selling it off, and then it gets stuck in distribution, and they can't ever figure the fuck out what they want to do with the film or who actually owns it, and then it's
having been involved in a situation like that once a while back, it is insanely frustrating, especially from the filmmaker standpoint. If it's out of your hands, and you try to put it in somebody else's hands. It's heartbreaking. But the only way you can move forward is just to keep creating.
Yeah. So I'm listening. You guys are saying
we try to control everything. Yeah.
So go ahead, Angel.
No, I was just admiring their. They're saying that they're trying to get permits and be law-abiding citizens, and I'm trying to formulate how I can sneak in and out of places and.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes some of the best movies were made with that like guerrilla style. Like, let's run in there quick, do this, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then sometimes it's like, it brings up a good backstory to it.
Yeah, because I found this area, and I texted Kevin, Ryan, and I was like, I think we're gonna try to shoot here or something. I'm not sure what yet, but it looks fucking awesome. And he's like, isn't that private property? I was like, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
He's like, well, that's what the signs say, but I think we should take down the signs.
Yeah.
Plausible deniability. There's no signs. How would you?
I didn't. Oh, sorry. I don't.
We've definitely
know.
We've done that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how. Like, I mean,
we've done that many times. We've shot many. Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, when we shot the first Bloodsucker Jones, we shot. Yeah.
See.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on a little bit.
Again, but I think there's a little bit like a 5-second delay or something.
3.
Clap.
Okay. Yeah. What?
Oh yeah.
That's a 10-second delay, bro.
10-second delay. 10-second delay. That's weird. So yeah.
Oh my god.
That's okay. We'll survive. Actually,
that's why I thought you kept cutting him off, Kevin. I was like, damn.
That's what I was like. But stop. Yeah. I was actually going to ask Justin if you ever thought. I mean, it would be funny to like go back to that one that you never finished and pick it back up with no explanation as to why everyone's so much older now, or even just like the next scene, like, sorry, I overslept, and like that's your explanation, and then just finish the movie, and no one ever acknowledges it after that. Have you ever thought of that? Oh wait,
absolutely. Actually, yes. We lost the original taste, but it was all dubbed onto VHS, and we're going to digitize it, and hopefully want to make a movie that takes place in the present, and then goes back and references 25 years ago, and use that footage of our younger selves.
That's a good idea. Use it if it's good, right?
And that footage features a very young Preston Gant who plays Bloodsucker Jones. So you get to see, if you wanted a Bloodsucker Jones flashback, it would be amazing. Because I think in one scene, he's got like, instead of his signature afro, he's got completely different hairstyle, also very period, but like more 80s maybe. And I think that would be a lot of fun. I've heard tale, but I've never actually seen it.
One of the like high flat tops, like Kid and Play or something.
I think more like Jerry Curl.
Oh, Jesus.
No. Yeah, that's Jerry Curl. Yeah.
Randy Watson, everybody.
I forgot the guy who actually sang that. I saw not that long ago on TV, and I think he's a white guy. We sang the Soul Glow song in real life.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, but it's about that time. We got to start doing some plugs because we're wrapping up. So, where can people go to find out what's going on with you guys? Even, other stuff. Like I know Justin's acting in a bunch of stuff as well outside of your projects, or just anything else that you guys are working on individually. Where can people go to find out more info on your stuff? We'll start with Randy first.
All right. Well, Party of Darkness, you can follow us on Instagram at Party of Darkness Movie. Also, Like Dogs, you should check out. That is on Tubi and Amazon Prime. And that's a lot of fun. Justin is also in that movie, and he was also on our art team. So his fingerprints are all over that one as well. And if you like me and you want to follow me in my very few musings that I happen to put out on social media, just at Randy Van Dyke. Easy to find.
There you go. And Justin, what about yourself?
You can see the first Bloodsucker. You can get the first Bloodsucker Jones on Blu-ray. You can get all of our movies through the Indiegogo as a package too.
Oh.
Or you can stream Bloodsucker Jones versus the Creeping Death on Tubi or Amazon, and Xanadu Hellfire on Tubi or Amazon. And the Blue Murder Instagram is blue_murder_movie. And we have at Bloodsucker Jones, at Xanadu Hellfire, and at Justin Armao, JustinArmao, if you want to talk to me and say hi.
Right on. Angel, what about yourself?
You can check out That Strange Show Instagram page, Facebook page, or you can follow me at Chaos Manus. But yeah, we got a new episode coming up soon. We covering We Are Zombies, and then I think at some point we're gonna try to record, and then get ready for the Halloween season coming up. Right? Get some candies.
Coming up. It is
coming up.
16 days away.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah.
But
up.
also, depending on when you're listening or watching this, you're watching this right now, but Blocktober Fest 2024 from our people over at Block of Horrors coming up on the 27th of October. They're hosting the virtual film festival that me and you helped out with last year. They're doing it again, and we'll be in there on their Discord hanging out, so just go check that out. A lot of cool shorts will be featured that day, throughout the day.
Sounds good.
But yeah,
Tony?
You can find me at Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related is on there. Tony Has Nine Fingers on X, which I don't use, but I say. Tony Has Nine Fingers on TikTok, which is my fastest growing social media, so find me there most of the time. Tony's twerking, of course. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me, and of course here on the Wicked Horror Show most Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Whether we have awesome guests or it's just horror movie talk, you can find us here. And Kevin.
Just A Knuckle on Instagram. Besides doing this show with Tony, I'm also part of That Strange Show, and the who knows whenever show, The Re-Education of Nancy Ann Ritter.
She learned it all.
Apparently, but she's super busy. Like she's at cons like all the time.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year. So yeah, and also want to point out that we're on the Dorkening Podcast Network, as well as Dead of Winter Entertainment. And we're part of both of those lovely organizations. And go check out the other stuff on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching / listening. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Peace. 1 second, everybody.
Thank you.
It's ending.